Hey there, it's Jennifer from the blog The Everyday Farmhouse. Today we're going to be making this whipped face and body cream. It's made from two ingredients. I used tallow and sweet almond oil. You could use whatever oil you really love for your skin. You could use olive oil, you could use avocado oil, jojoba oil. Add that to it, you melt them together, and then you let it cool a little bit and whip it. And it is so nice. It's very luxurious feeling. It absorbs into your skin beautifully. You can customize it and make it your own by adding fragrance if you like. I added a little bit of lilac and it smells so good. You could add any essential oil that you like for fragrance, or you can leave it unscented, which is really great too. I'm gonna show you how to make this. It's so simple, and I'm gonna show you step by step right now. Okay, so to start, you're going to want a bowl, obviously, to put it in, and I just nestled my bowl in a pot of water that we're going to heat on the stove, so it's like a double boiler setup. I'm using grass-fed tallow that I purchased. It is different than the tallow I've rendered at home. My tallow, when I render it myself, usually comes out very hard, like you have to chip it out of the container. This is softer than that. This almost has, it's a little more solid, but it has a similar consistency to palm oil. And it's fine to work with. It's just different than what I'm used to. We don't have beef going to the butcher until March, so I'm out of my own beef fat for making tallow, and I wanted to get this project done, so I just purchased some. And it's affordable and easy to access, so I'll show you below in the description where I sourced that. So there's a half a cup of the tallow. And because this was a softer consistency, I only added 1 tablespoon of the sweet almond oil. You can use whatever type of oil you want. You can use olive or avocado or jojoba or whatever type of liquid oil you like to go along with this, just to give it a little bit of a softer consistency. You can also add essential oils like I'll do at the end. I'll show you that later. But to start, this is all you need: your little double boiler setup and a half a cup of beef tallow and your liquid oil. And you're just going to put this on the stove and melt them together. You can just melt the tallow and then pour the liquid in and stir it together like I'm showing you here. But it's fine to heat them both. You don't have to heat it very long on the stove, just until it melts. This was after sitting for a while. It wasn't getting as solid as I need it to be to whip it up. So I started cheating and sticking it in the fridge for a little bit to get the process to go faster. When it looks more like this, when it looks like it's almost solid again, I mean, you can see that it's still soft. This is when it's ready to be whipped. And it doesn't look like very much at this point, but it whips up so nicely and it just turns really nice and bright white, and the texture is just so lovely. So you're going to whip this for, I don't know, several minutes. I didn't pay attention to the time like I probably should have to let you know. But essentially, you're just whipping it until it's a nice body butter consistency is what it should feel like. It should be thick, but easily spreadable. I've made some before where I've added beeswax. I don't like that as well. It gets a little too solid for when you whip it. It just ends up hardening up too much. I like to make a tallow balm with beeswax just for putting on my face or lips or under my eyes, something a little thicker. But I love doing it this way. For your body. It's really a nice consistency for that. So once it's whipped pretty well, that's when I add my essential oils. I'm adding a little bit of rosehip oil because it's just so good for your skin. And then I'm adding about 10 drops of the lilac essential oil to add fragrance to it. And it smells so nice. I just love the smell of lilac, and so does my husband. Okay, so this looks pretty good to me. You can just test it and see if it feels how you want it to feel. It has expanded so much just from whipping the air into it, and I'll show you how nicely this just absorbs right into your skin. It feels so good, and it smells amazing if you add a fragrance that you like. So that's all there is to it. And then after it's whipped up nicely, you just get a nice little mason jar or whatever you want to store it in. You could save old jars or, use the jars you use for canning. And I just kind of tap it down in the container and spread it in there. And then you can kind of play with the top to make it look pretty by swirling it around or whatever. But this should last, you know, for a couple months. You could keep it in the fridge if you wanted. It'll get a little bit harder. But I don't find that necessary. I just keep it out on my counter, and with this amount, you'll use it up pretty quickly anyway. And I think you're really gonna love using this. It's so beautiful. It smells amazing, and it's just really soft, and it absorbs into your skin so nicely. So I hope you give this a try. Thanks for following along. Have a great day.